Let me pop this thing off real quick because yo, we not about to play around with this one. This ain't just a trip down memory lane, this is a full-blown highway straight through your childhood. With loop-de-loops, plastic orange tracks, and cars that move like they was running from responsibility. I'm talking about Hot Wheels, baby. The toy that had everybody acting like they was a race car driver even when they was sitting on the carpet in their Spider-Man pajamas. Man, Hot Wheels wasn't just a toy, it was a lifestyle. These little cars had the streets of the living room on lock. You couldn't tell us we ain't had a garage, a dealership, a stunt arena, and a racetrack all in one. But let's rewind this thing all the way back to 1968 when this madness first hit the streets. See, the squad over at Mattel, yeah, the same people who made Barbie, decided, yo, we gotta give the boys something with edge. Enter Elliot Handler, the dude with the vision. He wanted to make cars that weren't just models, but little speed demons, fast, flashy, and wild. That's when the original 16 rolled out. And man, those things were different. We talking custom Camaro, Diora, Beatnik Bandit, all sound like they belong in a superhero garage. They had that shiny Spectraflame paint, those slick redline wheels and axles that were smoother than a fresh haircut before picture day. You put one on the orange track, boom, gone. Hit the wall, bounced off the TV stand and kept going. Now peep this, Hot Wheels came in with the smoke and went head to head with Matchbox, who was already sitting on the toy car throne. But Hot Wheels, they was cooler, they was faster, they was louder. Matchbox was out here doing real cars basic stuff. Hot Wheels was building cars with engines on the roof, flames shooting out the back, and wheels bigger than the body. They came in like, we don't do boring, and guess what? By the 70s, they ran Matchbox off the road and later bought them. Game over. And yo, the commercials back in the day? Iconic. You heard Hot Wheels. Beat that. And you was already sprinting to your toy bin like it was race day. Then they started dropping cartoons like Hot Wheels, Acceleracers, had a whole backstory, villains, rare cars, battles. It was like Fast and Furious for kids, but with zero gas money. And don't get me started on the 90s and early 2000s. That was the golden era. If you grew up during that time, you already know. You had cars that folded, flipped, glowed in the dark, and some that straight up flew off the track and hit your little cousin in the head. That's how real it was. They had launchers, turbo boosters, loops so big you had to ask your mom if it was okay to take over the entire living room. And she always said no, but we did it anyway. And brew, the crossovers? Batman cars, Marvel cars, Star Wars ships. Even Fast and Furious got its own line. It was like every franchise showed up at the Hot Wheels party trying to get a piece of the action. And the value? Sheesh. Some of these cars from the 60s and 70s? Worth thousands. Thousands. That little Beach Bomb prototype from '69? Over $150,000, my guy. So while you was out here racing them across the coffee table, somebody else was locking them in a display case like the Mona Lisa. And even now in 2025, they still going strong. Over 8 billion sold. They ain't slowing down for nobody. They dropping new models every year, collabing with everybody from Tesla to Mario Kart. And collectors? Bruh, it's a lifestyle. There's a whole Hot Wheels Legends tour where real people make real custom cars, and Mattel might turn it into a Hot Wheels model. That's insane. You making a car just to become a toy? That's full circle greatness. You want to talk legacy? Let's talk legacy. Hot Wheels been around for over 50 years. That's like 4 generations of kids who done zoomed these things under couches, through spaghetti dinners, and right into their parents' ankles. And we still ain't tired of them. They still cheap like $1 a car. They still cool, and they still make you feel like a kid even if you got a mortgage. What makes them timeless is that perfect mix. They're fast, flashy, customizable, and they spark the wildest imagination. Whether you was setting up your own demolition derby or pretending one car was running from the law and the other one was the cop, Hot Wheels gave you the freedom to create your own world. That's why they stuck around. It wasn't just a toy, it was you in a little metal shell, a piece of chaos, a dash of style, a whole lot of fun. So yeah, if you had Hot Wheels back in the day, you already know what's up. And if you didn't, man, your childhood had a speed limit.